welcome back. Let's go straight across to our technical guest to find out more about stocks as well as the market. Mitesh, good morning. Your view on the index and on individual stocks, what would you be looking at, considering today could be a big day?
Good morning. So I've been maintaining a positive stance on the index. We talked about 12,250 as a target area earlier and possibly 12,350, 430. And see, 12,362 was the highest closing last time we were here, and 12,430 was the intraday high. I think today we will open around those areas. Very clearly, this would be the time when I would be more aggressive in booking profits on long positions and then check it out whether we are getting past 12,450 or not. Then only I think we'll initiate fresh long. So the first reaction possibly to the gap up opening will be taking profits, because we'll be right at the last time we were here, the swing highs of the last time movement, and then we'll take it from there. But trading broadly with long bias on individual stocks.
Okay, which stocks?
Yeah. So Lata, I have 4 buy calls right now. Bandhan Bank I think has given a breakout above this 325, 328 zone. So buy with a stop below 325. Look for targets of 344. Sun Pharma is a buy with a stop below 501 half for targets of 525. And 2 FMCG names, I think they just started participating nicely. Colgate is a buy. Keep a stop at 1497. Look for targets of 1540. And Dabur is a buy with a stop at 522 for targets of 555.
Okay. And Ashwini, all longs for you as well?
See, obviously, you have to be long in this market, and several banking stocks are almost hitting fresh highs. HDFC Bank, Kotak almost there. So it appears like banking has another leg to it. So IndusInd Bank is a buy with a stop of 730, target of 760. HDFC Bank is a buy with a stop of 1295, target of 1340. Sriram Transport is a buy with a stop of 840, target of 865. Balkrishna is a buy with a stop of 1430, target of 1500. And Motherson is a buy with a stop of 113, target of 127.
All right.
Okay, thanks for that, Ashwini. Sudarshan, your calls?
It's an all buy list. I mean, I suppose you could close your eyes, pick up 4 stocks from the blue chips and make money. HDFC is a buy. The stock has been rallying, and that rally should continue. It should outperform. Tech Mahindra was in a trading range. It broke out. I think ID stocks will now do well. So much on news. Jubilant Foods had a sharp correction. That correction has come to an end. It's come to a support level also. It's a mid-cap stock, but worth buying into. And Berger Paints had that lifetime new high on Friday. Then it retreated back. That's okay. It got nervous. It should resume that up move today. So all buying.
Okay. Thanks for that, gentlemen. Do stay on. We are going to have the market pre-opening rates, but we also have a very important management joining us. It's the Emami management, and I'll tell you why it's important. It's an absolutely superb EBITDA performance, 33% rise to about over 250 crores, nearly 260 crores. They've done well in revenues, of course, 11%, but volume again, double digit. The poll we got was between 6 and 7%. So it's really firing on all cylinders. NH Bhansali, CEO of Finance, Strategy and Business Development and CFO of Emami joins us. Good morning, Mr. Bhansali. This is a great set of numbers. 10% volume growth in the second quarter. How was October?
Yeah, very good morning. The trajectory is good. In fact, if you look at overall for the second quarter, if you exclude the winter portfolio, which had not performed well relatively, if you exclude the winter portfolio, we have grown by 28%. And so now the winter is setting in, and we expect this quarter also to be good, better, and trajectory is intact. All the brands are doing good. If you look at Kesh King had the highest ever growth till date, quarterly growth. Balms also performed very well. Healthcare sector has more than 50% growth in this quarter. And Pancharista, which was lagging behind earlier, has delivered a 24% growth. So overall, the growth has come from all the brands and all the channels. So it is very inclusive kind of a growth. Urban, rural, everything has grown. E-com, yeah.
Yeah, that's
just
good
a minute.
to hear, actually.
Nifty
Yeah,
hits.
just wanted to mention that actually 12,400 on the Nifty. So in pre-opening session, we are getting ready for fireworks on the market, and that all-time high is 12,430. It's just a matter of time before we get there. Mr. Bhansali, good morning. You know, the buzzword has been healthcare lately, so I wanted to understand that your own healthcare products, whether it's Chyawanprash or immunity boosters, Are they doing as well as they were doing at the start of the lockdown period? And if you can just give us a sense of what the growth there has been and what is the contribution to your overall revenues?
See, the first quarter we had a growth of 40%, healthcare per se. And the second quarter growth is at 53%. And within this, the Chyawanprash, other immunity boosters, all have performed well. So it is an all-round growth, as I said. And the growth continues. And we are also coming out with many new relevant launches and which are also doing extremely well. In fact, we have launched a Jandu portal. And through portal also we are getting very good response. So all the efforts are paying off and it's been good.
In the pre-open, by the way, we hit provisional
We hit
all-time
433.
high. Yes, and then have retreated from there. But we will be close to all-time high. Let's see if there's some program trading around those levels. But Mr. Bhansali, good morning. Advertising as percentage of sales is 14.7% versus 15.9%. Is that the number where it's going to stay? Because the feedback that we got from other FMCG companies is that advertising is returning back to pre-COVID levels. Mr. Bhansali? Okay, I think we've lost that line. So
we
we'll
have to
reconnect.
redial because it's such a good set of numbers. The market may want to hear more. Do we have a quote already for Emami? We should.
I think it's up 0.7%. Divi's Labs is
Divi's
opening
is the
4%
one up
higher.
anyway.
It's really been the stock for all seasons and 4% higher on that stock. What a phenomenal wealth creator it's been. Infosys up 2.5%. Bharti Airtel up about 2.5%. Reliance is up a bit.
Look at Ujjivan.
Yeah,
8% higher almost.
I want to see Vedanta because Nigel was saying perhaps the market would want to look at in this
It's up
commodity
2%.
market the results at more than this promoter issue because it trades at that discount, but 2% up on that stock. So let's see how that one moves. Apart from that, well, Biocon, where we have some news, that stock is opening 5% higher, so that could be another stock to track.
Also, two stocks in the auto space. Let's see how Balkrishna Industries is doing because that one reported a very good set of numbers as well. Expected to open in the green, and Ashok Leyland is the other one. Okay, there you have it. Balkrishna 1% higher. Ashok Leyland as well. Operational performance better than expected. But
Amber has not done well.
Okay.
I mean, the numbers were not that impressive. So at the moment, that one is starting lower. I'm pointing out to the few disappointments. And Glenmark, keep an eye on Glenmark. It's starting 2% lower. Ashok Leyland incidentally starting lower, but they are pre-opening rates. So let's hold our horses. Okay, we've got...
Jubilant is the other one. Jubilant Industries is the other one where we have 20% upper circuit right now in pre-opening.
Okay, Mr. Bhansali is here with us. Mr. Bhansali, you didn't hear... Anuj, you want to...
Yeah, Mr. Bhansali, the question I was asking was on advertising because, a lot of FMCG companies are saying that, they're back to pre-COVID levels. Do you see that happening in your company as well?
Yeah, it is so. It is back to the pre-operating level, in fact, pre-COVID level. In fact, wholesale has also returned to the growth with about 20% growth. So, and that's why I said all channels are growing. So it seems that it is something which is going to remain and sustain.
Will you be able to maintain margins at 35%?
Our EBITDA margins at 33% for the quarter. We expect last year for the whole year we had an EBITDA margin of around 26%, and we expect this margin to expand to around 30% or so on a yearly basis.
so now you're back to double-digit growth finally after many quarters. A 10% domestic volume growth is what you've done. You think you can sustain this double-digit growth in the second half of the year, or could you do better?
The current trajectory is better.
Okay, so more than a 10%.
International business is also doing good. So if you look at the international has also done well.
Okay. Your big strength is your winter portfolio, and the winter portfolio itself, you've done well. So any guidance for the second half?
It would be better.
Sorry, it'll be better. Anything more, if you could. What are your stockists and retailers telling you? Are they asking for more for October, November?
In fact, there had been disruptions in between because of the COVID and other situations, supply chain disruptions, and so the inventory levels also, secondary inventory levels have reduced. Today, we are at a 15 days inventory with the distributors and retailers, and we are doing well. The things have been established well. So there is no extra inventory in the market also. There has been a lot of demand. There had been some loss of sales in the second quarter to that extent that there was a disruption in between. There was a high demand. But somehow it has now been settled, and so we feel that the growth would continue. The things are settled, the processes are settled. And in the mid of it, we have also declared a 400% dividend, which was there in the last year for the full year. This year in the interim, we have declared a 400% dividend.
I was
So
coming
this
to that.
also-
I noticed that, Mr. Bhansali. So I wanted to know if, what is the promoter debt position therefore? You all brought down brought down the pledge dramatically from 90 to 46, and now there is this excellent dividend that must have come their way. So should we see them completely depledged?
See, these are two independent things. If you look at the first on the pledge, our current pledge is at around 41%, and that also is going to get reduced further gradually, and on 41% of the promoter's equity. And on the dividend front, company Emami Limited per se is net cash surplus. So we have a surplus of over 200 crore on the Emami's balance sheet. There is no debt, and so we are very comfortable in terms of the cash surplus, and so the dividend is on the top of it.
Okay, Mr. Bhansali, we'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot.